Hey, I'm coming to you from the master bedroom in a duplex project that my company's building with Michael Shue, Office of Architecture, and I want to talk to you about soundproofing. We're in the master bedroom of this duplex project. On the other side of this wall, 8 inches from me here, is another master bedroom. That's Unit B. And I want to talk to you about the steps that we took to soundproof this. But first, I actually want to prove to you that the steps that we took were effective. So we're going to use this sound meter, and we're going to measure a little bit of ambient noise in this room, and then I'm going to walk next door, and we'll see if the sound meter will pick that up. So first, let's see what ambient kind of noise levels are. If I'm talking and you look at that sound meter, it looks like my talking is going to be roughly in the 60s, something like that. Let's call it an average of 65 decibels, let's say. I'm a loud talker. But to really crank this up and to be able to show the difference, I went back in time and got my junior high Sony sports machine here, and we're going to crank this up to somewhere in the, let's say, 80s or maybe 90 decibels. And then we're going to walk next door and see how it does. Woo, it's getting loud. I don't know if you can still hear me. But we're averaging in the 80s with some peaks close to 90. So let's let this run. We're going to walk next door and see where it ends up. All right, so now we're in the B side master bedroom. I'm leaning against that same wall I was leaning up against a second ago. And on the other side of me, maybe 1 foot from my ear, is that job site radio cranked to between 80 and 90 decibels. Again, I've got a second X-Tech meter over here. And remember, this is gonna kick off at 40 decibels. It's gonna read LO, meaning it's too low to read. So let's be quiet for a second and see how we did. I'm not sure it's reading anything. I can still hear that just a hair, which means that it's not 0, but it's below 40, which means we've got 40, maybe 50 plus decibel drop. That's really impressive. So now let's talk about how we got that drop. We did 6 specific things on this job. The first thing we did is very common. We used a staggered stud approach to build this sound wall. That means that we built a 2x6 bottom and top plate, and then we filled in the studs for this wall with 2x4s, and we staggered the location from one side to the next. That way when this wall hits that sound and vibrates that 2x4, that's not transmitting to the other side of this wall. That's a really great soundproofing method that's been around for ages. The second thing we did was we used Quiet Rock. I'm a big fan of Quiet Rock because it's an off-the-shelf product that works, and it's really simple to use. Anybody can install it and really do a good job of it. So we installed Quiet Rock on one entire side of these 2 units here. After the Quiet Rock was installed, we used Soundproofing Putties. These are basically a putty pad that's used in commercial buildings for fire transmission, but anything that penetrates that wall, we're talking specifically about electrical boxes, needs to have a putty pad totally wrapped around that backside of that electrical box so that sound is not transmitting through that hole in the sheetrock. The third thing we did was we used Roxul soundproofing bats. That's a really great product that's going to help absorb some of that vibration as it goes through the wall. You could have also used the standard fiberglass product. And lastly, we finished this project up with 2 layers of 5/8 sheetrock on this side. And in between those 2 layers, we used a great product called green glue. It's a compound that you basically squeeze onto the sheets in a zigzag pattern. And what it does is it helps dampen that vibration from one sheet of drywall to the next. I like green glue because it's very cost effective and you get a high sound transmission coefficient from really a pretty inexpensive product. The only thing I don't like about green glue is that it really needs to be installed correctly. If it's not installed by someone who's paying attention, you might negate the money that you spend on your soundproofing. If you'd like more information on any of these products or any of these tips, visit my blog at mattreisinger.com. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.